Zwa, zwa, kuna balobe baby kuna balobe suki
So if the contract says 5 days, that means you have up until 5 days to back out of that contract. And it's usually 5 days, business days, like business hour. They count Sunday as well. So if you have 5 days, but you got into the contract on Thursday, then it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. If you don't say, I don't want to do this deal before 5 o'clock on Tuesday, they can say you're going to lose your deposit. So those are the things you want to look at, because I know new people and even seasoned people don't want to lose their money. But if all you have is you've squeezed together your $1,000, you don't want to lose it on a deal that doesn't close. So be very, very careful with the agents that you choose, because a new agent doesn't even understand how to get you your deposit back. And then sometimes an agent will say to you, I cannot speak to you, or I can't answer you until I check with my broker. That can cost you some time, because sometimes some new agents, they're the lowest on the totem pole in their office, and so they don't have access to their broker. Like a new producer or a top producer has. A top producer can call their broker pretty much at any time and get feedback, because the broker knows that this person is really about their business and they're about taking the office to the next level. So you want to look at that. And then a lot of offices have different types of pay scales. Some offices only charge their agents a desk fee. A person that's only paying a desk fee is not going to be as hungry as somebody who's paying a huger commission split, because when they have that huger commission split, they got to go out and do more deals to pay their own bills and to pay for their own marketing and stuff like that. So those people are going to be a little bit more hungrier to help you close your deal and figure out ways to make your deal happen, as opposed to walking away from it. The other thing you want to find out is to make sure, as I said, that you know how long your inspection period is. And then most people don't really understand this, but when you're doing a cash deal and you're putting cash money out, that is a riskier deal than going like an FHA deal or a standard deal, because when you're putting cash out, it doesn't matter what the house appraises for. That's for your own knowledge. So, you can't turn around and say in 2 weeks, I don't want to do this deal because I found out now. You told me that the houses in the area were closing at $50,000, and I found out that they were only closing at $20,000. No, you're still going to lose your money if you don't close on that deal. But if you were doing that same deal and you got and it was an FHA type loan or a standard traditional loan, when you go do the appraisal, and if the house doesn't appraise, you have the right to cancel that deal, or you have the right to still buy it and put in the difference. Some places will let you do that. And I've only had a couple of people that said, I don't care that it appraised $10,000 less rather. I still want the property because it benefits me for what I want. So you definitely want to understand that when you're doing a real estate deal and you're a cash buyer, you're taking a huger risk. And that's why when you choose the agent that you're going to work with, you want to make sure that that agent is seasoned enough to be able to guide you along the way. I've shared with you guys, more than once, that I've had people join our, mentoring program, and they were already in a deal when they joined. And then they join because they want my guidance to help them close their deal. So they get into the program. And sometimes I have to say to them, that's not a good deal. You have foundation problems, or, you may not be aware of this, but we see that this foundation is a lot more work than you thought, or the roof is going to cost you more, or there's hidden issues with the electricity. So new investors don't really know all of that. And a really seasoned agent, and I'm not talking about age, I'm talking about experience. Somebody that's closed a few deals is a seasoned agent because they know different ways of closing and they know different ways of getting the deal through, and they also have relationships. They have relationships with title companies, relationships with attorneys, relationships with other investor, and also relationships with hard money lenders. They know a lot of the stuff. I was doing a deal recently, and one of the realtor that I used on this deal, she said, well, I need to have your proof of funds letter. And so when I sent her the letter, she said, oh, I'm very familiar with this company. I've worked with them before, so I know exactly how you're going to close. And I'm very comfortable with the way you guys work. So you want somebody that has that kind of understanding, because again, when you're making a cash offer, you can't come back after your due diligence period and say, I've changed my mind about this problem. So read your contract and make sure you understand. If your contract says 5 days, then you have 5 days to, have the contractor, the inspector, whoever else you want, your partners. And it's also a great time to get other investors that you have a relationship with to see the property. And so this way you know if you can wholesale it to them. But I would only suggest doing that with people you have a relationship with, because you don't want to expose somebody to a property you're working on only to find out that they pulled it from under you and they went and offered the seller more money than you were willing to, and just to make sure you don't get the deal. And when I was new as an investor, it happened to me a few times. I've learned a lot by being in this industry for a long time, and so I try to share with you some of my experiences so you don't have the same issues in the areas that I had shortfalls that it happens to you. You also, with an agent that's been in the business for a minute, you will not have the problems of going back and forth, making offers back and forth. One thing I don't like to do is to play tennis with the offer. I'm offering the lowest, and then you're gonna come back, and then my agent's gotta track me down. I gotta sign more paperwork so that they can put in a new offer. And certain states like Georgia are very, very strict about working with agents and how the agents have to submit all the loans and all the offers and things of that sort. So you don't want to put in an offer and then it's so low that the seller's insulted, they don't even answer you, or they're going to come back and counter offer, because again, certain states, every time you change the offer, you have to do a new contract. They don't allow you to just initial changes. So you want to consider that. I would always say, when I talk to the agents, especially when I have an agent representing me, the seller's agent is going to represent the seller. That is their fiduciary responsibility. That means they do what's best for the seller. But if you have an agent that is representing you, and they're a buyer's agent, or they're representing you, so you're the buyer, whether you're paying cash or you've got a hard money loan, however you're getting involved in this property, that agent is going to look out for you more so. And then there's some agents that play a dual role. They are selling their own listing, so they have to tell you and the seller everything that you both need to know. But they're still more responsible to the seller, because the seller is really who's paying them. So you want to find out what do you think is the best offer for this. Some of my agents that I work with, they'll give me the pros and cons of the neighborhood. They'll also share with me why it's a good deal or a good offer. We recently put an offer on a property in an area, and went into contract only to find out that we were in contract for the wrong property, because this particular address we looked at was not the address, was the address on the contract, but it was not the right property. So that was a situation. We've also had situations where you look at a deal and you go into contract, and something's going on in the area, so you can't even get the permits and everything that you need. I remember probably a couple of months, my son-in-law and I were looking at houses, and we went in this area and we found a property that we wanted to work on. And we came back a couple of days later to just really, take a good look at the property, go in it because it was vacant, and really take our time deciding what we were going to do with the property, if we were going to fix it up or wholesale it. And as we were there, a lady came from the neighborhood and she said, well, the house next door to you, I stopped their work because the guidelines in this area have changed. And as we drove around the area, we saw tons of houses that people had started the work, and then she had put a stop on it because there's some things that you didn't need permits for in the past. She was saying, no, you have to have these permits now, or you cannot do the work. So a real estate agent that's seasoned can help you with that. This agent that I worked with was able to not only tell me what was going on in the area, but tell me what the area was gonna, what they were looking to do in the area, the parks that were coming, the property improvement, the money that was allocated to that area, and how they were going to change the area. You're also sharing with us how many police officers were being allocated to move into that area with the police officer next door program. So you want to know all of this, especially when you're working in an area that's changing. In an area that's changing, I think real estate investors are people to be commended, because we go into these neighborhoods and where most people won't buy, we get people to buy because we may fix it up and resell it, or we may wholesale it to somebody who is going to fix it up and sell it. And once it closes, now these people in that area, their property value has gone up. But again, you want to do your due diligence, and you don't want to waste a lot of time going back and forth with counter offers. Don't try to be so low in your offers that you insult the seller, but then don't be so, aggressive that it's not your maximum allowable offer. You're just making an emotional decision, because then you won't close. And so we show you how to look at the property and how to estimate your fixed up costs, and how to estimate everything it's going to cost you, so that you can go and give an offer based on how you're going to exit this property, whether you're going to bird dog it, wholesale it, fix it and flip it, and also where are you getting the finances. That all plays a role in the kind of offer you want to make to the seller. And if you have a seasoned agent, they can guide you to that. The last thing I want to share with you is that you want to keep your real estate business very simple. Don't make it difficult. Don't come and change it. Don't try, if you've been in real estate and you are not doing the deals you want to do, kind of reanalyze your business and see what's not working for yourself, and then go back and redo it. Okay, but you, should always be marketing. Always be marketing. Last but not least, if you're in the Atlanta area, I want to invite you. One of the realtors I work with, Shannon Williams Harmon, is having an event in Atlanta, Georgia, with Keller Williams, their Midtown office. So if you're in the area, whether you're a real estate agent with Keller Williams or another broker, you want to come out. If you're an investor, you also want to come out. I would encourage you to, send me a message and I'll send you all the details. We will be posting her flyer on the Yellow Letter Mentoring Facebook page, so you can contact her with reservation, to reserve. The place seats a lot of people, and this particular Keller Williams office is very prestigious. They have a lot of, top producers there. She's doing an amazing job with that office. So I think it's going to be a great event. There's going to be title company, attorneys, lenders, all types of networking that you can do. And bring your questions and bring your deals. Because she'll give you an opportunity to share your deals, and you never know, you might find a buyer. I've actually invited quite a few people to this event. I'm very excited about it because I think the more you get comfortable with real estate agents and being able to communicate with them, the easier your business is going to be. So again, it is this Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia at Keller Williams Midtown office, and the event she's having is from 11 to 12:30. And if you want to connect with her, her name is Shannon Williams Harmon, and you can also connect with her on Instagram. But if you want to, go out to this event, we will have her information and flyer on the Yellow Letter Mentoring Facebook page. So I encourage you to like that page. And if you follow us, we did an interview with her, and she shared her experience in real estate and what she does to get everything, pretty much everything she's listed, she sells within a few days, not even a few weeks, but a few days. So that's good to work with somebody like that. And she's very comfortable working with real estate investors. So you can hit her up if you like her style when you come out to the event. And if you're not in Atlanta and you know somebody that wants to come out, invite them out and let Shannon know that they're connected with you, and we'll go from there. With that being said, again, my name is Wendy Lovejoy, and this was the Yellow Letter Mentoring free training. If you liked anything you heard today and you want to work with me, take a deeper dive with me, work closely with me, or just ask me a few questions, I'm offering you a free get to know you. You can schedule that on the Yellow Letter Mentoring Facebook page. You can also go to our website, theyellowlettermentoring.com, and you can schedule it there. And it's just an opportunity for you and I to talk. And if I can answer your questions, I will. We don't, try to sell you on joining our program because we may not be a good fit for each other. But if we are, we encourage you to get started. We're actually running a promotion right now, which I'm going to speak about on the webinar we're going to be doing. It's going to be, you have to join a link for the Zoom webinar we're going to be offering, where I'm going to go into more details about real estate investing, and I'm going to take you from A to Z and give you some stuff that I don't share here. And I think I give a lot of information, but you're going to get a lot more if you connect with any of the things that we're offering. Again, my name is Wendy Lovejoy. Go out and make your real estate business very, very successful. You can do it. Talk to a real estate agent, interview them. And if you want to know more questions to ask your real estate agent, I'm going to have my VA go ahead and put together some, like maybe 10-15 questions, and you can have them there. And if you do have the Millionaire Success scripts, it's in there as well. We have at least 4 different scripts for you to ask a real estate agent. With that being said, again, thank you for joining this training with me, this free live training with me, and I hope to see you at one of the live events or at one of the properties that you may be closing on or reselling. Okay? Talk to you soon. Bye.
Cause I wanted some more, cause I'm moving it hard like this. Oh, nah, nah, nah. And I tell them again, they be calling my phone like this. They know that it's hot when it's